Hello everybody, my name is Naya and I'm the Black Female Engineer. I provide content for new and aspiring software engineers, and today we're going to be talking about the best way to optimize your GitHub so that when a recruiter goes onto it, when a company goes onto it, it is the best it can be. It is eye-catching, yet really showcases your talent and really shows them that, okay, this might be the person we need to call for an interview. Let's get them in the office and see what they're about. So let's get to it.
So here is the GitHub that will serve as our model for this demonstration. We are going to focus on 4 primary parts. We're going to focus on this intro area you see right here. We're going to focus on the left of it. We're also going to focus on the pinned section and then our contributions area. So starting with this right here, big text section. This is something that I actually did not know was possible until I saw other people's ReadMes and GitHubs, and I was like, oh wow, like I want that. That's very eye-catching, it's really cool, and it makes, GitHub and profiles just more exciting. So we want to provide whoever comes onto our GitHub profile with some type of introduction to ourselves. Let's think about applying to jobs and recruiters going onto our GitHub, which many of them do. So we want to provide them with a quick introduction and what you focus on in terms of your engineering. Here, I say that my focus is on either front-end or full-stack development, and my projects are reflections of my interests and passions. And I like to maintain a sleek, modern design despite how, complicated the apps themselves may be.
This is very important because yes, your resume is there to show your skills and your experiences, but it also makes it the recruiter's job to kind of read between the lines and say, okay, so it looks like their focus is X, Y, and Z, and because this is what they list as their skills and all that. But by you taking this opportunity to, in your GitHub and really in all your other profiles, LinkedIn profile and all of that, you can say, look, no reading between the lines, like I am the person for front-end engineering. This is my focus. This is what I do in my free time. I am your girl. I am your guy. I am your person. So really just take that opportunity to do that here.
Then I put a little bit of my background into the same section. And so here I put that I'm a graduate from a 4-year university with a finance and accounting degree, and I state a little bit why I switched to software engineering, saying that I just wasn't very fulfilled despite my interest in the subject matter. And, after doing this one task of automation for my team, I realized I was in the wrong field because it was the best working day ever. So that, ladies and gents, is when I knew I was in the wrong field. And now here I am. It's okay to be a little bit more casual with this. It's okay to, let your hair down and show these recruiters and other people viewing your page just, what your personality is like. And so that's what I like to do here, like emojis and just being, really kind of animated in some parts, but also showing that I am competent and, would be a great member to their team. And then I put a contact me blurb right here saying, feel free to contact me via LinkedIn or email. And so before we get to this next section over here, let me show you all how to actually add this to your GitHub, because that is something that I did not know how to do. So we go into repositories, click there, select new on the right, and then with repository name, make it whatever your username is. And so you see on the left, my username is the Black Female Engineer. Make your repo name the exact same thing, copying the casing and everything. It has to be an exact match. And so, well, mine already exists because you saw the section already. But you see when I do that, this little thing pops up that says you found a secret. The Black Female Engineer / the Black Female Engineer is a special repository that you can use to add a README to your GitHub profile. Make sure it's public and initialize it with a README to get started. So we scroll down, make sure public is selected, and then click add a README file. Then after you make sure that that is checked, then you click create repository. I can't because mine is already created, but you then create repository. So now let's go back to my page. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you create it. So when you create your repository, what will happen is, let me click edit. You are sent to where you can put in the information you want. Really, you can put in images, you can put in the text you want, the emojis, etc. You get these large headers by putting the 3 hashtags first, and then anything past the hashtags is text, or just like the regular body text. But you can also put in images in here, and those will show up. You can add the emojis, etc. And then when you're ready, you just say commit directly to the main branch, and then commit changes, and click that. And then you should see it just pop up right front and center on your GitHub profile. And so this is just, something super fun to add, and I don't know, it makes me happy. Maybe I'm just, a nerd for these kinds of things, but it makes me really happy to see. So next, on the left side of our GitHub is where our more general information is. So let's click edit profile, because this is really how all of this happens. So if we could click edit profile, that is where you can create just a quick little blurb here. And so, software engineer with additional experience in X, Y, and Z, looking to use my skills in front-end development and user-focused development. Then you can put where you are currently working. I had just put Flatiron School because I was a student of Flatiron School. Then you can put your location. This is something you can choose to opt out of. To be honest, what I've seen, and this may be different experiences for different people, but what I have seen is certain jobs maybe putting certain applications to the side because they see that they're in a location where they are not based and they don't want to pay for relocation. And so some people will choose to not put their location. But I had my location on there. You can put your email. Putting your email is kind of tricky. I'll show you that in a second. But then you can link anything you want as well. You can link your LinkedIn. So, whatever your LinkedIn URL is. So LinkedIn.com / the Black Female Engineer. That is, not my LinkedIn, but you can put your LinkedIn. You can also link wherever your portfolio site is. You can link it here, or a great idea is to also link it right here, because again, it's very hard to miss right here. Then you can also link in a Twitter. So let me show you how to put in your email. Oh yeah, it was in the settings. So if you go to settings, so if you click email settings, that is where you can add your new email. And then once your new email is verified, then you go in here and select that new verified email. I'm not going to click this because it has personal, very, very personal information, but trust me, it'll all make sense once you click this button. So let's go back to our personal profile. So section 3. The pin section. Now, this is very important. The pin section is where we want to put in all of our projects that we want to say, yo, recruiter over there, look at these things that I did. And so they can see, okay, project number 2, front end, and then see, the walkthrough, the README, table of contents. I always created walkthrough videos for each specific app I created, because it's very rare that a person will really take the time to parse through all code, but instead will watch a video of what you created. And so this is how all of my apps look in their README. And so I pinned all of the apps I wanted them to really focus on here. or really not the apps, but the repos. And so each app is like a row because I had the front end and the back end in two different repos all the time. It's just very important to have a separation of concern that way. And so not having your front end back end in the same exact app or same exact repo is very important. I have the front end, back end, front end, back end, front end, back end. That is how I worked. So how do we do this? We click customize your pins. So if you click customize your pins, you get access to every single one of your repos. And so you can only pick 6. Yes, select up to 6 public repositories. And so click on those, the ones you want. It doesn't have to be 6. It can be 2. It can be 1. I like to aim for at least 3. But if you're new, you don't be out here putting repos to terrible projects just because you're trying to add more things. Just wait, be patient, and you'll get to that number that you want. So then after you finish, selecting everything and whatnot, click Save Pins, and then they would show up in the pin section. You can then move them the way you want. And so I like things to be easy to follow. And so I liked all the front end stuff being in one section and then all the back end stuff being in the other section, and making each row its own project. So that's the way I decided to go at it. Now, finally, the contributions. Now, no one dragged me, okay? Like, I got a job, like, right around here, and so I kind of fell off in my personal GitHub commits. But while I was, in school and looking for a job, I really tried to make sure I kept things as green as possible, making sure I at least coded or at least committed once every like 2 days. But of course, sometimes long weekends would happen, and things happen. But yes, trying to make sure that whoever comes to my GitHub sees that I am serious about this, that I am not just doing this for kicks and for giggles, but I'm doing this to actually make a true career shift and be a true engineer. So if you see everything from, May back, I did not know GitHub even existed. I did not know what it was. I had no idea. But that is in this period is when I started to learn to code, and then really started making sure all of my projects were being pushed up to GitHub to really make sure that my activity was being stored. Because even in this May section, I was still producing projects, I was still coding, but I didn't know the importance of tracking that activity and that progress through GitHub. And so, or some type of version control app. And so that is why there's really nothing from here on back. But yes, started school and then really started making sure I was committing every day. And so that is very, very important, because you can say in your interview that, hey, I have a true passion for coding and I code all the time. But then if this, recruiter pulls up your GitHub and sees this section right here, but that is all your sections, like something's not adding up. That is not okay, and you want to really make sure that you are giving these recruiters and these companies every reason to believe what you are saying, and every reason to trust that you're passionate and trust that you are determined, and show them that you are the person to hire.
So there we have it, everybody. My tips as to how to best optimize your GitHub, specifically while you're on the job hunt, so you can really just increase your odds of getting that phone call that you got the job, or at least a phone call for a round 1 interview. If you'd like me to get more in depth into the ReadMes or anything like that, please let me know in the comments. I like to make sure I'm tailoring my content to something that you all want to see. So please let me know. But thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.